I'm fixing little bits of the face up so it sits a little better, trying to create sort of space. Flipping the image again, just make sure everything sits right. Just introducing a little variation. It's another good thing with images if you have a variety, so it's not entirely stale. I mean, that's why I like also using all these different colors, because it does create a variety. Mostly this is just pushing and pulling forms. That's what it is at this point when I'm working on the eye. But as I realize right now, it's sitting a little too high. So I changed that to fix the eyelid, change where it's sitting, and make it line up better. And that's one of the great things about Photoshop, is you can basically select things and kind of change where they are, push and pull them around until it sits right. Whereas traditionally you have to like keep repainting that. I saw like when I moved the eye, saw I need to fix the cheek form when I looked into the mirror again. Now sometimes you have to totally mess with completely how your image is to make it look better. Sometimes you might think it's a little too drastic just to change a lot of things, but if it looks better in the end, it was a worthy decision. That is ultimately the goal of whenever I make a picture, is for it to look good. Now I'm adding in shadow parts of the folds where the shirt's predominantly red, the shadows I stick a sort of complement of a... The shadows are a sort of desaturated bluey green. And it sort of breaks up the red in the shirt, so it's not just all one flat tone. We have just value changing. It's another bit of the whole rule of complements with color. With warm lights, cool shadows. Although the red in the shirt is fairly desaturated, like it's almost gray. So that's mostly the mid-tone part. You see the parts on lighter, much brighter, a little bit more vibrant, a little bit more red. Which that helps push things better too. And I think for this piece I only used about 3 brushes, all of which were textured. Got the sort of oval texture shape that gives these really awesome brush effects that looks extremely painterly. Got another round one that's got like a pastel texture, and you can see what I'm using now, or what I was using on the shirt, was a variation of like the standard chalk brush that has a bit different opacity settings. What I'm doing now is just kind of fixing up the background and adding in a layer mask to sort of make me not so blue. See, layer masks are a fun thing, and you can see what I'm doing here is you press the backdash key right above the enter key. You can see where like it turned all red. That's where the mask is, so you can really see what you're painting in the layer mask. And I'm basically just adjusting opacity and blending modes, and I'm doing with the background gradient layers. And I'm doing again with the orange, which I thought worked well because orange and blue are complements. And considering I have the warm brights and cool darks, it sat even better with me. And I'm basically just cycling through blending modes till I get something I like, and changing opacity until I get something I like. I mean, this part is basically near the end of the image, and I'm just doing my final details. Just really trying to make this thing look better. Just adding in my final highlights. Trying to really just finish up the forms of the curls of the hair. Nice little tricky stuff to do. Trying to add in a few stray hairs, which you can't really see well in here because the quality of this thing sucks. Sorry about that. I didn't know it'd be extremely pixely when I sped it up. Here I am adding my signature, trying to figure out the colors for that. See what I do pretty soon is an unsharp mask. which, when you do an unsharp mask, sort of sharpens up the whole image so it looks a bit more finished. That's what I'm doing right now. And I'm adding a nice little black border just to give it a nice little finishing touch. Moving around, which I probably shouldn't because of low quality, but things done now. Goodbye.